like there's like a whole bunch of things that a lot of wrestling guys aren't going to know, and one of them is working the road. And this is why I'm so happy about Bayley, because Bayley, she took something that a mainstream media, I'm going to be nice about this, a mainstream media whore tried to bait her into answering certain things, and
I'm not sure she tried to bait. I think she's just it's because not. I want to say because she's one of those
like
people who
girl
doesn't.
power.
No, she probably just doesn't watch wrestling, right? So she's probably naive about. Well, you think, well, the WWE is a multi-billion-dollar corporation. Like you think that, oh, they must, do at least do this, this, and this.
Well, the fact that it was apparently this video was deleted from Fox Sports 1, showing that one of their anchors doesn't know the profession of the athlete that they're interviewing. Yeah, I can certainly see why it would seem ridiculous to have, why would you want to plug that? The person that you're interviewing has no idea how wrestling actually works. No, but the worst part is this, and we're gonna watch it here in a sec. The worst part is that this woman, this mainstream media, sports personality, if there can be called sports entertainment, well, now I'm going to call them sports personalities. This,
I like when Rush Limbaugh calls them anchorettes.
yeah, right. So the sportstress decided that the fact that she's so alienated, not just from pro wrestling in general, but she's so alienated about the idea of being a celebrity, and she thought she was talking to an equal celebrity. And the fact that because Bayley can't be, super flamboyant and everything else, because that's just not Bayley. As you can look at Bayley, look at her, she doesn't look like the flamboyant, type, you know?
Even though she could.
She could. I mean, easily. I mean, I would love to put the minute that they decide to do a War Games for females, I want Bayley to be part of. I want Bayley's squadron. I want them to wear the face paint like Sting. I want, everything. I
Yeah.
want Bayley's squadron. So,
Because we all know in the Sting comparison with Bayley being Sting and Bayley being Ricky Steamboat, Sasha Banks is Lex Luger.
mhm,
You're just waiting for Sasha to turn.
right. So, but Bayley is like she's just chilled back and relaxed, and I mean, she's a normal person. And she's talking to a media celebrity who desperately believes that she's a normal person. Like the media celebrity thinks that she also is a normal person. And then it all kind of goes off the rails a little bit, and Bayley just, I mean, I'm so proud of you, sweetie. It was masterful. And I'm so happy you held your cool, because as you can see, I certainly wouldn't. And I know, like, if Vader were being interviewed, maybe he'd grab her by the throat. We're lucky John Stossel wasn't being interviewed. He'd slap her across the ear.
Oh God, Doctor Dave. I love Doctor Dave, and just watching those old videos, I'm just like, could you imagine if Doctor Dave Schultz was in his prime now?
hmm
My God, Twitter couldn't be able to handle him.
Right. God. So, but Bailey held it with stride and professionalism, and yeah, let's just hear how Bailey handles it. We love you, sweetie.
First thing fans would be surprised to know about life on the road for a WWE superstar.
Oh man, it's not pretty.
No?
It's hard. The hardest part is literally the drives afterwards. Like we'll have 4-hour drives, 5-hour drives. Sometimes it's in.
Look at that stupid bitch face. I'm sorry I have to curse like that. I'm sorry I have to treat her like this. I just don't like the media. You know?
I don't think I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt here. I'm not saying she's like a lot of other people in the mainstream media and all the fake news and all,
Right.
but I'm gonna just say that she just assumed because the WWE's a league, let's call it that.
Yeah, that's what we'll call it.
Yeah. It's like UFC. UFC is all mixed martial arts.
Right.
So WWE is all wrestling. And
Jesus
well, that's
Christ.
that's what most normies think anyway.
Right. I mean, this is a mainstream media person interviewing someone from the WWE. They're not interviewing, anyone from AEW or anything.
I guarantee if they interviewed, say, like Kenny Omega or one of the Bucks or something, she would probably say, "Oh well, WWE or something."
Right.
And then they have to be corrected. Oh no, it's AEW.
It's AEW, ma'am. You guys
Oh,
don't
is
have.
that like a side league?
Is that like a side thing? Does Vince own that too? Anyway, but look at this. I mean, But you could see this face of either it's a combination, and the media does this purposely. It's a combination of I could give a shit and oh my god, you really have to do this. It's
Yeah,
like
it's more the you have to do this.
it's a both thing. It's like being amazed. It's like it's like being amazed that a chemo patient throws up. That's what it's like. That's that look. And I'm picking on her because she tried to instigate something. And I don't want to. I don't want to put her on a horrible pedestal because I don't want to say that it was her bosses that set her up for it. But just that face, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, it's not like she writes the question, so it's entirely possible and plausible that one of the writers for the show just said, oh, ask about CBA or something.
No, it was a basic question,
Yeah.
but the fact that that's the thing is that it's such a basic question. I mean, listen again.
Literally the drives afterwards, like we'll have 4-hour drives, 5-hour drives. Sometimes it's in the sketchiest towns when there's literally nothing and you're afraid you're going to run out of gas, which does happen.
No.
Yes.
You run out of gas?
I haven't ran out.
You ran out of gas? Oh my god! In the sketchy neighborhoods? That's one of two things, okay? Because I'd like to believe that she's a smart woman, okay? She may be a bitch, but she's a smart woman. She can't,
Sorry, it's just the way, bitch.
she can't be smart enough to be able to be so good at her profession that she's interviewing a celebrity athlete, a champion of a celebrity athlete, no less, right? She can't be that smart and yet be so stupid to go, what? You needed to put gas in your car?
What, you're not an actor?
You need to put gas? What? In sketchy neighborhoods? No!
And this is going to be shocking to, like say they were members of SAG or whatever.
Right.
Actors actually do drive themselves to work.
Surprisingly enough.
Here in New York City, you can see a lot of semi-famous, even famous actors stay in the subway.
Mm-hmm. Because they're bums, or they're cheap, or they like to save a buck too,
First of all, if you're riding the subway, you're not saving any money.
I know. I'm just saying. They're looking at it as, they're looking at it as I'm saving a buck. But, I mean, this woman can't possibly, really? You have to put your own gas in your car? What did she think? That they were still, like, this is still the 1800s? And Barnum and Bailey is, like, putting the wrestling with the freak shows, and they have to put it in the same cart? What is this?
If Vince could do that, he probably would save some money.
Yep. If
Everyone's on a convoy. All right, God damn it, it's time to move.
Since
it's like a circus thing, before PETA and everyone else forced Ringling Brothers out of business, they used to march the elephants through the Holland Tunnel here in New York when they were going to the garden and everything.
Right.
I'm just imagining Vince marching everyone through the tunnel.
while playing Baby Elephant Walk.
Big Show and Mark Henry in the front.
Dun, 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 dun. Why do I believe Vince would do this if we like lived in some weird alternative steampunk world? Seriously, if we lived in like some weird bizarro steampunk world, Vince McMahon would be doing that.
I'm just picturing him with the ringmaster hat.
Exactly. A ringmaster hat, a chair, and a whip.
Come on now, yeah.
Look at my boys! Look at my girls! Let's go back to this dummy.
Which it's gotten very, very, very close where I have to take my foot off the pedal. The last time
you're
it happened,
driving yourself.
Oh yeah, we drive
You
ourselves.
don't have like a driver?
No.
What?
Yeah.
What? You don't have like a driver?
Oh my god.
Oh my god! You gotta drive yourself? Oh my gosh! Oh my goodness. Again, everyone's all like, oh, you know, this is one stupid media bitch, right? No. This woman, quote unquote, this woman is treating Bayley like a child. Because because she believes all pro wrestlers are really just all pro wrestling fans are redneck trailer park trash, which essentially they are. And she believes that all wrestlers are just, you know, muscle-headed dumbos who, you know, throw each other on the ground and, you know, literally she thought Vince like claps his hands. All right, we got to get back on the bus. And they all just huddle. They're like a football team. They all just hut, and get on the bus. And then he drives to the next town. That's what she thought this was. I guarantee I guarantee that's what she thought pro wrestlers were doing right now in 2019.
To be honest, if Vince was marching everyone to a bus or a plane or whatever, it would be like those scenes out of the movie Major League.
Right.
Like
Exactly.
The best he's given him is that old jalopy.
Yeah.
They're duct taping the wing together and everything.
Exactly. He's riding Jim Crockett's plane. And it's a piece of junk, and they're all like having to get on the same plane. They all go to the same town together, and that's what she honestly thought this was. I don't know why she did. I don't know who told her this, but someone either somebody at Fox told her this, right? Or she really thought that wrestlers were just like football players, and they all just got on the same bus and drove to the next town.
Now, I can totally believe that at Fox, at least, you know, it's Fox Sports 1, like, there's some people in the company who are like, oh, God, I can't believe they're putting this wrestling shit on the network.
We gotta cover this stuff seriously. Jesus Christ.
You know, we could be showing some college football game from Iowa that no one's watching, but no, we gotta fucking show this shit.
We gotta appeal to 3.5 million people, damn it.
So I could totally believe that somebody, you know, there might, you know, somebody might want to, you know, sabotage it or whatever. Because,
oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I totally believe that. And that's why I think they picked her to do this interview, or they had her do this interview, because she's one of the types who believes that, or she's one of the stooges that are willing to go along with it. Either way, she's a bitch. Anyway, back to the video.
Yeah, we drive ourselves. We get our own rental cars and we drive ourselves.
You get a rental car.
Yes.
You get a rental car?
How do you expect us to get around to these towns and entertain our people?
You're superstars. I feel like after the show, there's like, here's your driver. Get in. You've had a hard day of work. We'll drive you.
Well, no.
With a full tank of gas.
Jesus Christ.
I'm just I am laughing at the notion that, though, like, oh, you know, Bayley's talking about sketchy you know, like towns. Is like you just picture like somewhere in the middle of Southwest Texas or something. It's like, you know, there's just desert everywhere, and like, oh no, the car ran, I guess, and like she's got the, you know, the gas bucket, the gas thing in her hand, and she's like hitchhiking for miles on in the middle of nowhere, trying to find some sort of civilization. So
Right.
she, it's not nearly that bad.
No, but we know what she meant by sketchy towns. I'm just happy that Bailey's like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? Why in the world would you think that we would? Why would you think that we'd all just get into the same thing and just drive off together and everything?
5 days a week, so they can't do that for 30 superstars 5 days a
I
week.
don't know. I think they make a lot of money off of you
I
guys.
think so.
And there it is. Look at that smug twat face of hers, bunch up on the cheeks, trying to get Bayley to bury the company that she works for by asking for health insurance.
Well, Bailey's a smart girl.
Bailey's a very smart girl. She's not going to let some blonde twit try to manipulate her into saying something stupid as the champion. Because this should mean something to me, man. I realized that today. I woke up this morning and I was like, you know what? I really don't have much going on in my life. But the only thing I really know, that's instinctual, right, is professional wrestling. Because I was watching one of our favorite kayfabe commentaries, Sean Oliver Productions, with him and Robert Fuller, right?
I say.
Right, and we all love Robert Fuller. And Robert Fuller has a knack for this business. He was kind of born into it. I think actually, if you trace Robert Fuller's family back, I think it actually goes back to the Barnum and Bailey days. I would imagine so, because, I mean, if he's not a freak at wrestling, he's a freak with that horse cock that he's packing. God damn. Anyway. But I was listening to Robert Fuller. He was booking something. He was doing a little bit of fantasy booking. And Robert Fuller is explaining how an entire wrestling production works and how an entire wrestling match works and how this whole thing should be coming together and how it all works together. And I'm realizing me and Robert Fuller say the exact same shit. And that can't. I never listened to Robert Fuller talk about wrestling, really. I never watched a shoot with Robert Fuller before. I never heard Robert Fuller ever talk about wrestling, but me and Robert Fuller say the exact same things about wrestling. So that must mean
you just don't have that southern charm that he has.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, I'm calling this blonde woman a twat on my own show. Robert Fuller would never do that. He'd say, I say, mama, you are making me a little delirious.
Now hold on there now, missy.
Now hold on now, missy. I am making sure that you're driving, not me. I always make sure a woman drives to me. That way I can smoke and drink in the back seat. By the way, if there's ever a promo for a southern guy, I want him to have like a female chauffeur just for this woman. Make her look just like her. Yeah. Make a female have MJF have a female chauffeur and have her look like this woman. There you go.
Yeah, MJF, by the way.
I want that's what I want.
He's doing this thing for the Jericho Cruise. He's gonna be on the Jericho Cruise, and he's already tweeting like how girls leave your boyfriends on the poop deck, and make sure you're wearing the skimpiest bikinis possible when you come meet me.
Absolutely, he's a good man, and he knows his business.
He's the salt of the earth.
Mm-hmm. He really is. We love you, MJF. But yeah, I want MJF to turn this woman into his chauffeur. While he's eating caviar and getting blowjobs in the backseat. And I'm so...
That might be a bit much.
Not for me. That's a fantasy of mine. Not giving MJF a blowjob while he's eating caviar in the backseat. That's not the fantasy. I'm going to let that linger there for a little bit.
I have nothing to say to it.
So too, but
I don't know if it's the heat, the literal heat, because it's muggy as hell here,
right?
Or whatever. But
well, no,
I just have nothing to say.
Uh, anyway, let's get back to Bayley embarrassing this dummy even more.
I mean,
Full tank of gas.
we do it 5 days a week, so they can't do that for 30 superstars 5 days a
I
week.
don't know. I think they make a lot of money off of you
I
guys.
think so too, but they take care of us
Do you
for
want me to
most
negotiate your guys' new CBA? Do you have a
There we go. This stupid fucking bitch. Who the fuck are you to even bring up the? Who are you to even bring it up? You don't even. You just found out that they drive themselves.
CBA?
No, but
Let's make one.
Okay, you know what?
Drivers.
Things like this they work around it, but
Okay.
it's fun though. It does become fun because
Yeah.
you get to connect with whoever you travel with, and there's memories that you won't have with anybody else, and it becomes like a real family sisterhood or brotherhood.
Thank you, Bayley. Thank you for defending this. Thank you for defending the drive. The ride is the most important thing that a pro wrestler has. That drive is the most important thing that a pro wrestler ever has at all. It's how you learn how to work. It's how you learn how to do promos. It's where you learn how to get the match over. You don't do that in the back with the writers. You don't do that in the fucking, in getting dressed. You don't do that at Gorilla. You don't even call it in the ring anymore. From the day it's always been, pro wrestling has been negotiated. Matches have been negotiated. Promos have been created. The greatest promos, the greatest matches of all time were created in the back seat of a couple of guys drinking beers, smoking weed, and trying to get to the next town without running out of gas. And thank you, Bayley, for defending that. Even after this stupid bitch tried to fucking put you in the corner for trying to defend something that you had no decision in when it comes to having a union. And this stupid bitch wouldn't give you an application
Oh my!
because this stupid bitch doesn't know anything about your profession or anything about how to run anything other than a makeup department. So thank you, Bayley. Thank you for standing up for professional wrestling. And I was very mean to this, flighty twat, but I don't feel bad about that.
I was giving her the benefit of the doubt.
I don't. You explain why.
Like I said,